What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel, and in today's video, I am letting the flip of a coin decide which board games I buy. If you've watched a couple videos back, I tried to buy $200 worth of board games in 10 minutes, and I failed miserably. I had two separate carts on two different game stores, and I was pulling my hair out. And then I tried to buy from both of them at the same time, and the time ran out. This board game purchase has been the most excruciating for me, more than any other. I've just had games in and out, in and out, in and out of my cart for almost 2 weeks now. I've been taking a lot longer because with having you guys kind of watch me with my first attempt and give some feedback about games that I buy, put some more things on my radar. And lately I've been listening to a lot more board gaming content via podcasts and YouTube videos. I listen to the Secret Cabal Gaming podcast a lot. I listen to So Very Wrong About Games a lot, some Board Game Barrage. And through those podcasts and things, just little new board game titles or new to me titles come on my radar, and so I want to kind of see if they're available and check them out. So my selections and the games that I want just keep on rotating through, and it's really hard to nail them down. So what I've decided to do to kind of simplify things a bit is I've created one cart at 401 Games and one cart in Board Game Bliss. And so these are my two favorite board game online retailers in Canada where I am. And I'm just going to flip a coin, and that will decide which cart I'm going to purchase. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the carts, what's in them, why they're in there, and then we're going to flip the coin. I'm nervous about this. I don't know how this is going to go. Again, I always forget to get my wallet ready to do this. Good thing it's right up here. All right, convenient. So we're starting with 401 Games in my cart, and this was the big game changer. Imperial Settlers, Empires of the North. This has been on my list for a very long time. I went to Gen Con in 2019, and that was the game that I was after. And I just got cold feet for whatever reason. There were other games, new, flashier games, more games that I felt like I could get to the table more easily at home. Sarah wasn't a huge fan of Imperial Settlers, the original, so I didn't know if she would go for Empires of the North. But I really love Imperial Settlers, and I knew that I would love Empires of the North based on the changes. But I just didn't pull the trigger on it for whatever reason, so I've always wanted it. And when I first started trying to put games in my cart, I didn't think that it was available. It looked like it was out of stock at 401 and Board Game Bliss. And then I just checked yesterday, and it was back in stock at 401 Games. So I was like, perfect. And the thing to put back on my radar was that ProZD, however you pronounce it, but he just did a video about when you do a really good turn in a board game, and the board game that he was using for that video was Empires of the North. And so I got clued back in to wanting that game. So Empires of the North, there it is. These next two games are recommendations from you, my subscribers. So Joshua, he gave me the idea of starting to get into buying expansions instead of buying whole new games, buying expansions to games I already love. And we've been having a back and forth conversation on my Lost Ruins of Arnak Expedition Leaders video about expansions. And he's got me convinced to purchase Everdell Belfair. So this is not an expansion that adds a whole lot to the gameplay or rules teach, but it just adds variable player power, asymmetric starting positions at the beginning of the game, more cards, some more ways to get resources, just kind of enhancing the game, giving the game a bit of a boost and a bit more stuff. And so I'm willing to take the try. So Everdell Belfair, this is actually the only game that's in both carts. So this is definitely going to be coming to my collection, because I think it's a cool thing for you guys to witness, me kind of starting my expansion journey. If you don't know, I don't play expansions, hardly ever. And so this is kind of me dipping my toe into the expansion world and seeing where that journey takes me. So thank you, Joshua, for this recommendation. And there we go with that. Now, Wendy, she kind of did a hooray for Santa Monica when it was in my cart in my last buying video. It came out of the cart in that video, but here it is again. So I'm definitely excited to give this a try. It looks like a very simple tableau builder where you have cards that are either on the waterfront or on the street, and you're getting points based on items that are on those cards. Kind of a set collection thing. Very simple. I think Sarah will really enjoy it. So I'm excited for that. And then kind of the two sort of main events in this cart are Nidavellir and Micro Macro Crime City. These are two relatively new games. Nidavellir is just my engine builder jam, engine builder, tableau builder, just really excited about Nidavellir. Micro Macro, just excited for the experience. And again, I think a game that Sarah will really enjoy. Just trying to track down the crimes that are happening in this really cool Where's Waldo map situation. So that's the 401 Games cart. I think it's a pretty solid cart. And like I said already, at Board Game Bliss, Everdell Belfair is in this cart. And a new addition just recently. So I had Santa Monica in this cart as well, but unfortunately it got kicked out because Board Game Bliss is having a Canada Day sale. It was Canada Day yesterday, so happy Canada Day. And Whistle Mountain is 10 bucks off. And Whistle Mountain has been on my list since it came out at the end of last year. Again, worker placement. Polyominoals, which I'm hit and miss on, but I'm willing to give a pass on this because I've just heard really great things about Whistle Mountain. Atlantis Rising. So Atlantis Rising came out a couple years ago as a reprint. When I first got into the hobby, Z Garcia, on one of my very first top 10 lists that I ever watched, Z Garcia at the Dice Tower, he was talking about Atlantis Rising in their top 10 co-ops list. And I've been trying to hunt down the game ever since, and was out of print for the longest time, and then it finally came into print 2 years ago, but it was really weird. In Canada, it seemed like it was here and then gone. And it was just out of stock everywhere for the longest time. And now it is finally back in stock, and I'm excited to pull the trigger on Atlantis Rising and finally get. So it's more of a nostalgia pick, but it's also been super updated with Institut Tray art. And then I wasn't aware even at the time that it is a worker placement game, and I love worker placement, probably one of my favorite mechanics. And then also in this cart, It's a Wonderful World, card drafting, tableau building, kind of contract, fulfillment, this kind of thing. So again, It's a Wonderful World is like my jam of a game. Like this is, along with Nidavellir, just that style of game is just always a hit for me. So very excited about that. So there have been games in and out of these carts, but those are the games that have landed. So in 401, we have, as a recap, Imperial Settlers, Empires of the North, Everdell Belfair, Santa Monica, Nidavellir, Micro Macro Crime City. In Board Game Bliss, we have Whistle Mountain, Everdell Belfair, Atlantis Rising, and It's a Wonderful World. So right now, in the comments, put down what your pick to win this. What do you hope is going to happen from this coin toss? Put down your pick. 401 Games cart or Board Game Bliss cart. What would be your choice here? So without any further ado, let's make this happen. What? So heads will be 401 Games and tails is going to be Board Game Bliss. So let's do it. Here, you look before I do. Can you see that? Can you see that? Tails. I think that is tails. So that is Board Game Bliss. So here we go. Okay, Whistle Mountain, Atlantis Rising, It's a Wonderful World, Belfair. Fun picks. So let's check out. There we go. And again, there's always a tinge of sadness when you do something like this because you're kind of thinking that you're missing out. I'm quite excited actually about Atlantis Rising, It's a Wonderful World, Whistle Mountain, and Belfair. I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had. And again, more bigger boxes here with bigger experiences. So I think lots of fun to be had. So yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and order here, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so there we have it, party people. Thank you, Daniel, says my screen. I have ordered from Board Game Bliss thanks to a coin toss. If you like this challenge or this experience or whatever, comment below, talk about what I should have had in my cart instead of the things that I did, or what I should have ordered instead of these games. Let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Always loving having your support and your engagement in the comments. I'm really enjoying getting to know you guys and having great conversations about board games and things like that. So until next time, party people, have the best day.